Do you have the clip of when Trump designated it as a foreign terror organization?
We already do that?
Not as no. That was just
He was just doing domestically at first.
oh, did you not know?
No, that's news to me.
Holy, well.
Are you going to work with your administration as the Secretary of State's here? Are you going to work with your administration to designate it a foreign terror organization?
You mean a terror?
Antifa? A foreign terror organization.
Well, has that been done? Pretty close, right? Would you like to see it done?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you think it would help?
They have foreign
I'd be
links
glad
all
to
across
do it. I
Western
think it's the kind
Europe.
of thing I'd like to do. If you'd like, does
Middle
everybody
East.
agree? If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done. Okay, let's get it done. Marco, we'll take care of it.
Mr. President.
That's international, you mean?
Yes.
International.
Mr. President.
Sounds good to me.
Foreign terror organization.
Steve, are you okay with it?
Yes, it's true. There are extensive foreign ties, and I think that would be a very valid step to take.
Good, I think so too.
Yes.
Good, I think it's a good point. Thank you.
That reporter, I didn't catch who it was, but that was fascinating. It blew me away that she asked that question. That was the perfect question. They need to be designated as a foreign terrorist organization.
Well, they started designated as a national terrorist organization, and then
Well, he did that on the 22nd or on the 22nd.
Yeah.
But and unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I don't have it ready. But there is a clip I've got from Sky News from 5 years ago, with them just ecstatic that he had declared them a terrorist organization during his first term. And the title of the video is "Antifa is the world's most fascist Orwellian organization," and it's from Sky News in Australia. So when they say, "Oh, it's not a terrorist organization, it's not real, it's not real," yeah, they're it's in the UK. They said recently a video I saw, the police actually, it's really weird. They said there'll be a protest and Antifa will show up and the UK police will back down.
yeah, a lot of that happened just recently in Chicago. Is the police back down from helping ICE do their job?
Right,
And-
but this is specifically Antifa in the UK. And another clip I saw a couple of weeks ago when he designated them a domestic terror organization.
Mhm.
They said this is exactly the decisive action we've needed against these anarchist thugs. Trump is showing real leadership on terrorism. It's about time someone did. And then he came back with, if only our government under Starmer had the spine to make the same declaration here. Antifa's poison is spreading across the West, and we're letting it fester. So in the media, they say, oh, it's not a terrorist organization. Well, pretty much everyone in the world says it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to have an ID card. I've seen enough over the last 5 years of brochures on how to protest, Antifa brochures on who to contact if you need legal help.
Yeah, they're bailing them out.
Yeah, it's real. So what? They don't have a damn leader. You're gonna ask your criminal who breaks in and go, hey, where's your burglar? I'm a burglar card. What organization do you belong to?
Yeah.
No, someone prints the nice little flags.
Yeah. Here's another video that came on Pam Bondi saying, and this is yesterday on the 9th of October.
Antifa beats journalists. Antifa attacks our police stations. They attack our courthouses. They dox our law enforcement officers. No more. They are a terrorist group, and we are coming after them.
We are here at the White House today to unmask Antifa, to follow the money all the way to the top. If you want to get to the bottom of who is fomenting this chaos and violence in our country, you must follow the money.
I was a mainstream reporter in Seattle for 10 years before I quit mainstream media, in part due to its refusal to acknowledge the dangers of Antifa and radical left-wing violence.
Part of the problem that we have is that a lot of people refuse to believe that Antifa is real. It is just a made-up thing, but I have seen them. They are real, they are dangerous, and they are violent.
They are an organized, systemic, international criminal enterprise. And what the FBI is going to do is trace the money, follow the funds, and find every single person that was involved in funding the riots and the violent acts of criminality that they are perpetrating on our street.
I've watched Antifa brutally beat, harass, and threaten Americans in the street, but all of that ends with the Trump administration.
I was brutally attacked and almost killed by Antifa in the streets of Seattle. All of my colleagues have been attacked. I can't think of a single one who hasn't. Violence against journalists and police officers in our streets can't stand.
Just days ago, I was in the Portland jailhouse, and now I'm in the White House. This administration is built different, and Antifa's days are numbered.
And I want to thank President Donald Trump for designating Antifa a terrorist organization, and I'm looking forward to the FBI and the DOJ hunting down these people like the terrorists that they are.
All I gotta say, it's a bad day to be Antifa.
And Antifa's days of using violence and intimidation against their political opposition are over.
And I've continued to report on them over the years, despite the threats of violence and actual violence that's happened, because I owe a thank you to this country, the United States, for settling my parents who were victims of communism in Vietnam.
1 month ago, Charlie Kirk was murdered by a violent leftist. We all saw it, and we all saw thousands of leftists celebrate it. Antifa symbols were found on the bullet casings of the gun used to shoot and kill my friend.
We won't take it anymore. President Trump is not going to stand for it. And I'm so grateful that we have a leader in the White House that understands how we need to fight these sophisticated networks and how we need to take these terrorists out.
I've been attacked by Antifa, doxxed by Antifa, harassed by Antifa, but we're not standing down. We're now coming for you.
So that was on the X White House page. So yeah, the organization is a sham, and it's ridiculous. I don't know why people support this. If you're saying something that's anti-fascist, it's fascist. This is a fascist group. They want to stop your freedom of speech because they feel, not acknowledge a debate, because they feel that everything that is harassment and anti-government, it's ridiculous. I hate this group. I hated this group when it first started, and I've seen it. It's gotten worse over the years, and all because, and I'll be honest, because the news media starts making it. It's a whole if it bleeds, it leads type deal. And it's sickening. Yeah, go ahead. Hear what?
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear that.
Okay.
What was it supposed to be, Bill?
Something I'm kind of queuing up, but it's not quite ready, so I had to listen to it without it going out to everyone.
Oh, okay. Cue it up.
Okay.
Now,
I'm going to skip through him actually talking, Trump actually making the declaration, and I'm going to go forward to where it's actually being described and defined 5 years ago.
Now, when he talks about this group called Antifa, this is, again, the president talking about a group that he wants to list as a terrorist organization. This is what the president has had to say about this group, Antifa. Now, Rowan, Richo seared something into my brain when he had a go at us for saying woke too many times last week. We were the only two people in the world who used it. And it did get me thinking, right? Now, a lot of people watching us will know everything about Antifa, but there's a lot of people who may have heard it but don't quite understand what it is. I gave a characterization at the start of the show about what I think that it is. These are people who claim that righteousness is on their side and they will physically confront those whom they believe to be racist, misogynist, etc., etc., etc. But when you have a look at them, they are often built for battle here. Tell everyone about Antifa. What is it?
Okay, so it's a movement that stands for anti-fascist or anti-fascism, and they sell themselves as being against fascism. Now, fascism itself is something that you can debate about what is it and what does it mean, but basically it's a tyrannical form of government. So they're saying we are against a tyrannical form of government. Unfortunately, this is one of the most Orwellian organizations out there, in the same way that George Orwell's Ministry for Peace was in fact the Ministry for War, and in the same way that Orwell's Ministry for Truth was in fact a propaganda lying machine. Anti-fascists are themselves the most fascist organization around on the planet today. And I'll qualify that by saying, putting it in the context of, and we always say if you use the Hitler analogy, you use the argument, understand all that. But for democracy to fall, the only time we've ever seen democracies fall is when there is mob rule. And mob rule grows out of a movement where they take to the streets, burn things, destroy things. The brown shirts in Hitler's Germany. There have been plenty of other examples, the Bolsheviks in the Lenin-Russian Revolution, going all the way back to the French Revolution. Once you get anarchy on the streets, then your system of government can fall, and those determined to take over power hope to seize power through this. Antifa is no different to every other anarchist organization. In fact, it's grown out of many other anarchist organizations. Its sole goal is to create mayhem on the streets. That's its purpose. But it sells itself as fighting fascism. Now, unfortunately, and just look at those pictures, you can see how ludicrous it is. You mentioned earlier Andy No, friend of Outsiders, he's often on there. He was mobbed by Antifa, beaten up. Andrew Bolt has been beaten up by Antifa. These people are thugs purely and simply. They use violence. They hide their face behind masks. They are terrorists. They terrorize in order to bring down the establishment as they see it. But the problem here, Paul, is that we have now had a decade or two. And the interesting thing is, just quickly, all of these riots are taking place in Democrat-controlled areas, left-wing cities. So they claim to be fighting, Antifa claim to be fighting on behalf of the black community, but that they're not. That's not the case at all. Places like Minnesota have a black mayor, a black governor, black police chief. They had a black president for two terms. What is it that they're fighting for? They're actually terrorizing the black community and making them feel they're oppressed. We know the death of George Floyd was horrific. That's a whole separate argument. It's disgusting, and the guy's been charged with murder. Hopefully he'll go down for murder.
Yeah. If you want to understand why we hate this group so much, here's a reason. This is a voicemail from a spouse of an ICE officer.
Hi, I'm just calling to say, assuming you're married to and with a last name like that, I don't know how you let your husband work for ICE and you sleep at night. You, your family. I hope your kids get deported by accident. How do you sleep? You. Did you hear what happened to the Nazis after World War II? Because that's what's going to happen to your family.
Yeah. So,
you know, when they, I think they have a macro built into their keyboard on Facebook where there's people who it just seems like the same post. Well, my grandfather was Antifa because he fought the, no, really. What I started responding to them. Oh, so your grandfather was a anti-capitalist anarchist. So he was an anti-capitalist anarchist. That's what it is. There's no, to our greatest generation military, there is no fucking comparison to these bastards out in the street right now.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And it disgusts me that they make that comparison so much. It's just the same thing. Well, my grandfather was an Antifa. Really? You disgusting pigs.
Yeah.